can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. Build a seed with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. Build a seed with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when the when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody in between, and welcome to the Sports Report Fight Night. I am your host, Josie, and I am joined once again by my best friend, the man, the myth, the legend, William H.D. Morgan.
What up, my people? What's up, my people? How's everybody doing tonight? We got a lot to get into.
Dude, I missed you last week.
I am here. I appreciate that as always, but I'm here this week. Let's do this thing.
You know, I was recently asked by a friend of mine that, do I get excited every week coming on the show, or has it become routine? And like, truly, I do get excited every week to come on this show. One, like,
Wrestling
y'all
fans.
know it. Will Morgan is like one of my absolute best friends. I talk to this
Thank you.
motherfucker almost on a daily basis about
Yep.
some shit or another.
Yep.
And even though we've only spent like a couple of days together, like if I were to ever get remarried, this man would probably be one of my groomsmen. Like,
Appreciate that, man.
this is my boy.
Appreciate that.
I talked about it with Chris last week. Like, one of the reasons we love this is because we're both so passionate about it. We've been fans forever. We are diehard wrestling fans, and it is really nice to find someone who's a diehard wrestling fan who's not a fucking troll.
Hell yeah. Somebody you can talk to objectively about it.
Exactly. Oh man, I just watched a TikTok today, I think, that said like, what's a red flag for you as a wrestling fan? We all know I'm an AEW mark. I am, straight up. But what drives me crazy is when people can't see, which we're about to talk about here in just a couple of minutes, the issues that they're currently having and the things they need to fix. Oh, their production's better. They got better wrestlers. They have better stories. Are they doing some things better at WWE? Yes. Are there things they could fix? Hell yes.
Yes.
Hell yes. We're about to get into one right now. Last week, AEW Dynamite, before the show. Actually, let me hit this. Let me do it right. Do it right.
Here we go.
All right. So last week before the show, they had a all-staff meeting in AEW. All the staff was present. From what I hear, Tony, Kenny, Matt, and Jericho all spoke. I heard Kenny got kind of like rough.
Wow, really? Wow.
Yeah, I heard Kenny was the one that was the most aggressive, I guess. But they talked about some of the issues. One of the things is I think one of the things most people know about is the Kingston Guevara issue. Kingston and Guevara got into a fist fight backstage a couple of weeks ago, which led to Kingston being suspended for 2 weeks.
Yep.
The next rumor is that Thunder Rosa is not stepping down for injury, that she is stepping down because there is real heat between her, Britt Baker, and Jamie Hayter. Which, if that's true, that's a huge
deal.
That's a huge red flag. If you have one of your champions stepping down because you think she needs to take time away because there is issues between her and other wrestlers, I understand now why Shivani has taken over as talent relations. They definitely have some issues that they need to address as far as talent, and also they really need to address what talent says.
Right.
I love the freedom that AEW wrestlers have. I love that if I could find the right one, an AEW wrestler would come on this show. Like, they have that freedom. But you watch WWE, and like, I really find it funny to watch them on Chris Van Fleet because they're allowed to say a little bit more than they would normally say on a regular show.
Yes.
But you see they're calculated in what they say. They don't want any idea of, and I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm so laggy today, but they don't want any thoughts of impropriety or negativity backstage. That's one thing that WWE has done well. Does things get out? Yes. But they're also a giant freaking company. Even I've always gotten a little JR. He's one of the ones that I think is the worst about
no doubt
constantly shitting on his own product.
No doubt. And I don't look, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to JR whatsoever. Bruh, you've already put your time in. You have nothing left to prove. You've made your mark in history as one of the best to ever do it. But now, with the mistakes you make, not only on air, but putting down your own product in front of your in front of your employer, it's time for you to go. It's time for you to step it down.
And I'm not even saying go. I think JR should definitely stay on contract with AEW for the rest of however long he's wanting to. Sorry, guys. Got to readjust. I hurt my back.
I just think if you do it like that, you use them in certain spots.
And I'm not even saying he needs to be on camera anymore.
Yeah.
I think as just a resource for AEW, he needs to be on the payroll. And I don't know what changed. They were doing it where he was only doing like the big matches during Dynamite and then doing Rampage. They changed that again to where he's back on Dynamite full time and doing Rampage. And I get it, like for the commentators, he's a draw for commentating.
Yes.
And for a lot of people, you and myself included, him, Shivani, Mike Tenay, JR, or not JR, Lawler.
Yes.
Those are the voices of our childhood. Like, Shivani coming back to me was one of the biggest deals of AEW. Because I did not watch WCW live. I went back and watched it. Tony Schiavone, to me, is one of the greatest wrestling commentators of all time. And I will catch flack for that. Some people will not agree with me.
Oh, I agree.
Can't stand him. I think had he stayed in the business and not went away for 20 years, he would have more clout than JR.
Yep.
Because he's better. Personally, that is just a personal opinion, and I will, if the right marks see this, I'm probably going to get torn apart.
I think if you look at someone who's a little bit more of a character, particularly back in the early days, it was Jim Ross. More of a character, someone who's willing to go out there.
And he still does. Tony brings a legitimacy as a true sports car.
Yes. He brings that.
Not as a wrestling commentator. And yes, there is a difference.
Hell yeah.
You look at guys that have done the sports side before coming into wrestling, and the way they do wrestling is different. The way Tony does, it's almost like a play-by-play.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, the best commentator on the board for AEW by far is Excalibur. Like, by far. He's so good. He's very good. Amazing. The way
he's very good.
Moves, the way he even like as far as plugging things, rarely do I get as annoyed with Excalibur as I do with Michael Cole. Which, don't get me wrong, Michael Cole's a lot better now that Vince is not in his ear.
Right. And you also see him do a little bit more. Bailey's back now, so you're gonna start seeing him do a little bit more. Yeah, I think you're gonna see him do a little bit more on the creative side too. But yeah, Tony Schiavone, he's always been the man to me when it comes down to what a commentator should be. Now, if you look, like I said, JR is more of a character, someone who's willing to put his body in there, get beat up on occasions. But yeah, if you're looking for a pure commentator, you could take Tony and stick him almost anywhere, whereas JR is pretty much stuck doing AEW/WWE.
Exactly. I love, like I said, I love me some Shivani. He's just, I think, one of the best as far as that generation. But back to AEW, so you've got that going on. It was also announced in that meeting that the lawyer for AEW, who's basically Tony's number 2, has emailed Stephanie and Nick Khan and told them not to mess with their talent. Bad look, bro.
Big time bad look.
Bad look, bro. Like, why do you need to be that petty? Like,
don't need to be.
It just doesn't look good as you are the second biggest wrestling company in the U.S.
That's
not look good that you are going to the number 1 wrestling company in the U.S. and saying, hey, don't mess with our talent.
That's a Vince McMahon move.
That's a Vince move.
Yeah, that's a Vince McMahon move. Why do that?
I don't know.
And it just doesn't make sense to me because you shouldn't be that insecure. Even though you still have issues, your product has been pretty strong. So
for the most part, and like the issues they're going through right now, I would almost say have predicted. They're coming into their 4th year. Fans like to forget that AEW is still a baby.
Yep.
They are still very new. And these fans that think that, oh, we're seeing the end, like AEW is about to end. Why would you fucking wish that?
Right.
Look at the benefits that AEW has brought to the business and the things that they have changed. Vince probably would have never stepped down had it not been for AEW. That's what put all of this in motion.
Mm-hmm.
And
think about it for a second. If you took AEW away, it'll hurt so bad for professional wrestling fans.
Oh my God, we go back to 10 years ago, like that.
Yeah.
Where WWE is the only company, because as much as I love them, Impact is just not on a big enough.
Not on a big enough scale. ROH isn't there.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Tony now owns 2 companies.
Yep.
So if AEW goes away, ROH goes away. Yep. We lose 20 plus years of wrestling history.
Be ECW all over again. Yep, it would be. It really would be.
KW, that is not true anymore.
I don't think no. That
Impact is not true.
It's not true anymore.
Impact is, honestly, they are putting on some of the best product that is out there right now. The issue is they don't have eyes on that product.
Right. It's like having a good YouTube channel and nobody watches it.
Exactly. That's exactly where they're at right now. Josh Alexander is an amazing champion.
Yeah,
the things they're doing with Jordan Grace is awesome.
Ooh, love Jordan Grace.
We're not a huge fan of her on this show, but the things they're doing with Masha Slamovich are amazing.
Mm-hmm. They took Purrazzo from the doldrums of NXT, where she was pretty much kicked out.
Facebook user, click the link above so we know who we're talking about.
They took her from the doldrums of
comment. We're coming back to that in a second.
They took her from NXT, moved over to Impact. She was the champion Impact.
2-time.
And was over.
2-time.
Yeah. And was over.
I love the Virtuosa gimmick. I think it is amazing. I like her and Chelsea Green as what is it? I can't think of the tag team now. I can't think of the name of their tag team, but they're now the Impact Tag Team Champs.
Yep.
Yes, KW TNA evolved into Impact. So when Anthem bought them from Dixie Carter, they went through a lot of changes. They went back with Jeff Jarrett, became GCW for a while, but then when ECW folded, or when GCW folded, not 6 months later, Anthem rebranded them as Impact. Now they still have all the TNA history, everything, but they are Impact.
And we can't take that history away because that history brought us from.
And that's the thing. I'm sorry. If a company like TNA can make it 20 years, with all the struggles they've had and all the issues they've had and everything, there is no doubt in my mind that AEW doesn't make it either.
And look at what's up, Dan? What's up, Dan? My brother Dan is in the building. What's up, Dan? And understand, this is the same company that gave you AJ.
Yeah.
The same
Samoa
company
Joe.
that gave you Samoa Joe.
Frankie Kazarian. That's right. Christopher Daniels. Bobby Roode. James Storm. The Machine Guns. The list could go on, and those are just the old ones. Let's talk about some of the new.
We ain't even talking about the new ones yet.
Let's talk about some of the new careers they've launched. All Ego Ethan Page. Got to start in TNA. Jay Lethal, who's on his second kind of run. TNA.
EC3.
Oh, Dan, I'm telling you, if any promotion ever approached me and Will to do a match in a fucking second.
In a second.
In a second.
In a heartbeat.
I don't care who we're facing. I don't care who.
But they took EC3, made him something. WWE picked him up. Didn't really do anything over there. His best stuff was in Impact.
Oh my God, him as Ethan Carter III was amazing. I loved him and Spud. Him and Rockstar Spud were so funny together. The thing about Ethan EC3 is he can do that really great comedy, but he reminds me a lot of Kurt.
He does.
Reminds me a lot of Kurt.
Yeah.
Very similar to Kurt. Can do that amazing comedy. One of the best comedy wrestlers there is Kurt Angle. But he's also one of the best wrestlers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, because that stuff Kurt was doing with Brock
Lesnar. Oh, my God. The stuff with amazing. Christian and Edge.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the stuff with The Rock. And then the stuff with Stone Cold. And I go on and on and on and just talk about the comedy side. But the thing about Kurt is you can go on.
What the heck?
I'm hitting it and you're hitting it. Go. You do it. All right. So we would probably go with the white hot heat as a throw to the Harlem Heat.
Speaking of that, shout out to Booker and Reality Air Wrestling. They have a new team down there.
Yeah, Booker got his manager's license.
He got his manager's license. Yes, sir. Congrats, Book. Now Book's gonna see how different it is on that side.
Well, and they got a feud going on between him and Sharmell right now too.
Yep.
Reality Wrestling is doing some stuff.
They getting down over there. You got to give them props on that.
It's interesting to see the moves they've been making. And
Booker's been wrestling. You got to give him props on that. He doesn't wrestle often, but he does wrestle.
This guy, right? This person, right?
He'll open it. He'll definitely be the opener. I'll be the closer.
Open the match.
I'll be the closer. I'll just come in and put people in the torture rack. I don't give a damn.
Will's the strength. I'm the pizzazz.
I'll just put them all in the torture rack. I give a damn. I give a damn. Torture rack. Yeah. But I just think that if Impact, they're kind of in the same boat that ROH was back in the day. Well, you can say ROH. Yeah, kind of back in the day when they couldn't get a TV deal.
Yes. Because there was a time that ROH was putting on some of the best wrestling when they had guys like Daniel Bryan and Samoa Joe and Jay Lethal
and couldn't get, and Sinclair wasn't doing right by him.
Yeah, and see the thing is I would say that about Anthem, but they are really doing right by Impact.
Yeah, Anthem
other than they need a better TV deal. But I also understand Anthem owns Access, and they feel like if they can get
Access is that going, deal.
Then Impact will benefit from that. And I get that strategy.
Yeah.
But I can't shit on what they've done with Impact because they did the smartest thing, and that was bringing Scott D'Amore in as executive vice president. Scott D'Amore has been a godsend for a company that is their biggest issue. Impact's biggest issue, other than the fact of never being able to trying to go head to head with WWE, their biggest issue has always been management. Jeff Jarrett, then then Dixie Carter, then bringing in Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan. Their issue has always been bad management.
I think Bischoff messed it up a lot back in those days. They've done a good job rebounding, but it took a minute. But I think Bischoff messed a lot. He messed a lot up. Him and Hogan messed up a lot up. They did a lot. They did some people a disservice too.
But we were speaking about commentators, and he brought this up. I saw a post just recently. People wanting them to bring back Mauro Ranallo onto WWE.
See, I got an issue with that because I'm a bit type of, how can I say, you got to have a state of mind. You have to go out there and give it 110%. And that goes for announcers too. You just can't go out there and half-step it. You got to go out there and have a feeling. You got to go out there and have a passion for what you're saying, for what you do it, because all that translates into TV. And we see that. So if you right there with no emotion, if you out there with no, I want to be here, I want to call this, let's go. If you just out there, this is going to be a fireman's carriage takedown. We're going into this and that, and that's what Morello. That's what Morello reminds me. He's just
Morello at the beginning had that energy, had that passion. Now we all know JBL's a bully.
Oh yeah, he is. He is,
and I think that affected his passion for the business. I would have. There was a point in time I thought he was going to end up signing with AEW, and I would have loved to seen Excalibur and
Morello together.
I think that would have been a fun team. I loved Morello and Renee Young on WWE, but Paquette. I also thought at some point that AEW would sign her, and that never happened. So.
She's about to do a special project for WWE now. So,
oh really?
Yeah,
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, she's about to do a special project for WWE now. So
after talking about all the drama at AEW, we now have to talk about their biggest pay-per-view of the year is coming up this weekend.
I'm telling y'all right now, I'm tired of people coming at me. When I made the prediction that I think it was going to beat Jade, and everybody told me no, I'm thinking this is it. This is it right here. I don't hate Jade. Let's not get that twisted. But Jade needs a loss. She needs a loss. If you give her a loss here, you can take her out that picture and put her into the world title picture. You can set her up for bigger things with a loss here. She doesn't, because like the TNT title to me now, TBS title, I'm sorry, the TBS title now seems to be like it's beneath her. In other words, she should be on a higher echelon so she can lose it here. There's no disrespect in a loss to Athena because look how accomplished Athena is. I mean, look at what she's done in the Indies. Look what she did in NXT. Not so much the main roster, but then again, she was pigeonholed. But at the end of the day, there's no reason that it should be held against her to lose to Athena. Then she can move on to the world title picture, and where she can have some other great feuds to be set up. Her versus Britt Baker, her versus Thunder Rosa, if not they shall trust Thunder Rosa, because Thunder Rosa is so small. But you could do other things with her once she loses that TBS title. And I think it's right now that she loses that. You give it to Athena, you reset that, you move her on to bigger and better things. And if you want to put on another streak again, I'm fine with that.
Agreed. I agree 100% with all that. I can't argue with any of that. Real quick, I'm turning off my cam because I got to lay down. But
okay. But I just think that she needs this loss. I really do. And then when she gets this loss, when she goes on another streak, she'll have an even bigger chip on her shoulder and can establish dominance again.
Well, and we talked about this earlier this week in the way I think they could pull this off. There hasn't been a good connection between Jade and Layla.
Nope.
Jade has kind of treated Layla like shit.
Yep.
So I think the way you pull this off is Layla cost Jade the title at this match.
Yes.
Sends Layla and Jade into a good feud. That's good for both ladies. It still leaves Jade looking strong. And like you said, it's time for Jade to possibly be in the women's title picture. She should probably, honestly, be in this interim fatal four-way.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, I loved Sheeta during the pandemic era, but they haven't done anything with her.
And no one with her.
There's no reason for her to be in this match. Jamie Hayter, I love her. I think she's great. But again, I don't think everybody knows she's not winning.
Yeah. And with Stratlander being hurt
to win this match, the only two people are looking to win this match is going to be Britt or Tony. And I will put money right here, right now. It's going to be Tony fucking Storm.
She needs it.
Britt
don't need it.
Said it 1,000 times on this show. There is no need to make Britt the two-time women's champion.
She don't need it.
She don't need it. She is strong enough without it. She does not need a title.
Nope.
So I think you put it on Tony, I think that's where it was going anyway. I think Tony and Thunder were going to end up with a match at All Out, and Tony was going to win. So personally, I think that's where they're going with this.
And I think down the line, at some point, if you put Jade in with Tony, Jade beats Tony, then you get what a lot of folks really want to see: Jade versus Chris Statlander. You'll see that. I think you'll see that match at some point.
Well,
and a lot of people like Chris
probably out 6 to 9 months.
Yeah, she's gonna be out for a minute. But you can use that time for Jade's new streak. And a lot of people want to see Chris as a champion. A lot of people want to see that.
I would love.
I like her too. I love it. I gotta give you credit on that one, man. I gotta give you credit on that one.
I would do a mist, but it would be pink.
I gotta give you credit on that one. Oh my gosh.
Do the pink mist.
The pink mist. Muda's pink mist. God, I miss Muda.
But yeah, so all right, let's talk about All Out. We talked about that match. Let's talk about the rest of them. Let's see here. I got the card pulled up.
Mm-hmm.
You got the AEW World's Women Championship. Toni Storm versus Dr. Britt Baker versus Jamie Hayter versus Kirishita. Like I said,
Toni should win that.
I think Toni wins this match.
She should.
TBS Championship. You got Jade Cargill versus Athena. Me and Will both agree that it's time for Jade to lose.
And even if you don't think, and even if you don't agree with the reasons I gave, go back and look at one more thing. They did it with Cesaro in terms of him not being a champion. Then he comes over. What's the first thing he does? Champion. Mm-hmm. They can be, AEW has shown they can be just as petty as Vince. I put on a thing that's just to be petty because you didn't appreciate it, but we do.
Exactly. Next match is one of the matches I'm most excited for, Will, because I think we might get what we were talking about. Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland versus the Acclaimed.
Yeah.
The Acclaimed about to become tag team champions.
Mm-hmm.
I think they are, especially with Billy Gunn in their corner.
It's going to be a hell of a match, though.
It's going to be a great
It's going to be a hell of a match.
I'm so excited for that match. You got the AEW Trios Championship Tournament Final. I think I called it. I think exactly what I called is going to happen. I think you're going to have the Elite versus the Best Friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Best Friends win.
Yeah.
You got the Elite versus the United World Order, or UWE, United World Enterprise, which, by the way, I'm so excited for tomorrow night to see the Elite versus Kenny Omega in the Aussie Open, or the Elite versus Will Ospreay in the Aussie Open.
Yeah,
so excited. It's going to be a great match. Did you watch that video I sent you?
I didn't know you sent me a video. Where'd you post it?
The other day I sent it to you on Messenger. I told you to watch it right now. It was after the cameras went off, Omega and Ospreay had a little spat.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
I'll definitely check that out.
My God, bro.
I'll definitely check it out.
Things that Omega said to Ospreay, it was so good. And I'm hoping this leads to a one-on match between these two sooner rather than later. Will
Ospreay, and for those who have never seen Will Ospreay, he is amazing.
He's amazing, and he's really the guy that Kenny set up to take his spot.
Yep.
In New Japan.
Yep.
And so I'm excited to see that finals, but I don't see United Empire winning.
Nope.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. To me, the Elite versus the Best Friends makes a lot of sense because both of those teams have been there since the very beginning. If the Elite win, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be so pissed. And I'm not going to be pissed for the Williams and Wills and be pissed because I like the Young Bucks. I like Omega. I like the Elite. But the Young Bucks are already the first ever 2-time champs as far as the tag team titles. And again, I don't think they need titles to be over in AEW.
Nope. I think Days. I think Days
100% agree with them being in the finals.
Yeah.
100% agree. They are one of the teams that people think of when they think of trios wrestling. What is
yeah. They're gonna be on a rant.
I'm telling you, if next week, if the Elite ends up winning, we're gonna do a whole show on how much bullshit that is. I'm gonna be pissed. And I'm a fan. I just don't think it's necessary. And the Best Friends have not won a tag team title. Orange has not won a singles title. Like, to me, they are the best candidates to be the first. If it wasn't going to be Dark Order, which I don't think it is going to be, they face Best Friends on Friday. If it wasn't going to be them, then it needed to be the Best Friends.
Yeah.
You got the Casino Ladder match. Always a fun match. Always a great match. Hasn't been a lot of talk about the Joker this time around. Let me ask you this, Will. Is it a new person? Is it going to be a new signee? Or is it going to be someone returning?
New signee.
Who do you think?
I don't know.
That's my thing is.
I don't know. But I think it's going to be somebody new. Get some fresh blood and break up this.
What about bringing MJF back and he wins it?
The only thing about... I was talking to a buddy of mine about him coming back. I guess. But... yeah, you could do it.
That to me makes the most sense. You bring him back as the Joker, he wins it, goes on to face Mox, boom.
And it also helps you, and it also helps MJF tremendously because you won the belt and you beat a vet. So no one can say you're not deserving of nothing at that point. Who did you beat? Oh, I beat this dude. There you go.
Next match, one of the matches that has the ability, and this is the thing, the undercard matches, if there is not a world title match on this show, I'm not going to be upset because it does not need it.
Yeah.
That's all the championship matches, and then the gimmick match, the casino ladder match. So then here you get into the more meat and potatoes of the card. The match that has the ability to steal the show just because the two people that are in it, Jungle Boy versus Christian Cage. They have told.
I saw that last promo he cut.
Oh my God, they have told such an amazing story with this. Like the whole.
And you know I love Jungle Boy, but man, Cage is gonna be ready.
Cage is gonna be ready, but Jungle Boy wins.
Jungle Boy needs it. He needs it more than Cage.
There's no reason that Cage wins this match.
He needs it more than Cage. That's for sure.
There's no reason. I think it's gonna be a great match so they can both go on to other things. Please God, Jungle Boy wins this match and then gets into the TNT title picture. That's what needs to happen.
My only issue with that though, do you truly think he can beat your boy?
Beat Wardlow?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Wardlow's hot right now. He's hot right now.
That's my issue, though. Is I don't know who beats Wardlow because he's just so hot and so over. And that's the next match we're talking about: Wardlow and FTR versus Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns. Damn. Chris Sabin showed up on AEW this past week on Rampage. I'm so excited for this match. You could take Jay Lethal and Wardlow out of it and just give me FTR versus MCMG, and I would love it.
Yeah.
To me, Wardlow and Jay don't need to be in this match, but if this is how you got to give it to me, I'm okay with it. I'm so excited.
And it's good to see Jay Lethal. And it's good to see Jay Lethal again, too. And it's good to see Jay Lethal back, too.
I'm sorry?
And it's good to see Jay Lethal, too.
I'm glad to see Jay. I'm loving the feud he's got going on with Wardlow right now.
Yep.
I hope at some point down the line we get FTR versus the Motor City Machine Guns straight up. Just to
hello.
You also got the American Dragon versus Lionheart Chris Jericho. I get what they're doing with this Lionheart stuff, but to me, I don't like seeing 50-year-old Chris Jericho trying to live when he was in his 20s.
Damn. Don't do that to Chris Jericho, man.
I'm just saying, like, I love Chris as a performer. I'm not a big fan of some of his outside views in politics, but as a performer, Chris is obviously one of the best of all time.
Yes.
And yes, Lionheart Chris Jericho was great. And I get where you're going. Lionheart Chris Jericho versus the American Dragon, two great technical wrestlers. But to me, it's less believable to bring back Lionheart than it is to bring back like the Painmaker or to bring back Y2J or because the Lionheart was a gimmick for a young guy.
Yep.
Not for a guy in his 50s.
Yeah, he ain't young no more.
No. And then your other match listed, and I think we'll probably get a couple of more matches added this week.
We should.
But another match that has the ability to steal a show. My boy, Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks versus Powerhouse Will Hobbs.
That's your boy.
Will, he's just so charismatic.
I don't like him.
He's so charismatic.
I don't like
him.
I don't like him. I don't like him. He I'm going with your boy Hobbs.
Honestly, I think some shit's gonna happen in this match. I think maybe Hook gets involved.
Could, yeah.
I just don't care if
gets involved. I don't see what you see. I just don't see it.
I love his charisma. I love his style. I like flamboyance too, and Ricky has a lot of flamboyance. I've always liked guys like that. They've always been kind of my thing. I feel like he has something that Theory could possibly be doing if Theory had more charisma.
Facts. What's my special move?
So that right now is your card for All Out. I think you're going to see more.
Where's your boy? Pac better be on this roster.
Pac
on this card, rather. I'm sorry.
They lost. Death Triangle lost in the Trios tournament. And that title is not something that's like... That title is meant for it to be fought in other promotions. That title is meant to be fought on Dark or them to do a match somewhere else and then air it on Dark. It's meant to be almost an open title that anybody can win. So that could change. Something could happen this week and Pac end up with a match.
Yeah.
At least on the pre-show.
Yeah.
I want to... Right now, you don't have any of the Blackpool Combat Club involved in the pay-per-view.
There's nobody in there from that group. That's my special move.
That's great.
Shout out to Jen Hale. FS1 Undisputed.
That's even funnier considering Will doesn't drink.
Yes. Do not drink, do not smoke. Yes. My only vice is Asian women, but we'll go from there.
So that is your AEW All Out card. It is listed. Really? AEW generally has 9 bouts on the main card. The last pay-per-view was an exception. Double opening consists of 12. I can see AEW rolling out 11 matches. The 2 remaining would be AEW World Champion Jon Moxley versus TBA. Darby Allin, Sting, and Miro versus Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews. I do think that match happens.
That would be cool.
I think that match happens. which is really cool considering the feud that Miro and Darby and Sting had earlier. I don't know who
you stupid dad.
bring in. I don't know who you bring in to face John Moxley. Who's believable just to put into that spot?
I don't know who you would bring in either. I mean, if you're going off this whole thing with Punk,
well, I saw a video. I think Punk's re-injury might have been legitimate.
You think so?
Well,
the
way Punk crumbled in pain makes
that match was.
However, reports indicate it's likely that Punk gets the nod as Moxley's opponent.
It was quick.
I don't see why you go why have another rematch?
Right.
You literally brought the match to us because you thought that was the good idea. Why now?
I think that they're buying time to be sure that Punk is healthy. That's number one. And number two, they want to try to reclaim some type of glory, and have him win it again, win it in Chicago. Which
other potential matches for pay-per-view or pre-show included AEW at All Atlantic Championship. Oh, yeah, you called it, Will.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably going to happen because they got into it on the show. Kip Saban finally returned.
Okay.
So it's looking like Pac versus Saban for the All Atlantic Championship, which great match.
That should be good. That should be good.
Another possible match they're talking about would be the FTW Championship, Hook versus either Daddy Magic Matt Menard or Cole Hand. I would love to see Hook versus Daddy Magic. I love him. I think out of all of the JAS, the Jericho Appreciation Society, Daddy Magic is my favorite. I love his over-the-topness. I love his voice. They've got him doing commentary on Dark and Elevation now, and I've really enjoyed it.
That match was fashioned in Goldberg versus Rock, talking about Punk and Moxley. It was, man.
The other match they're talking about, which I don't think happens. Here's one that I don't think happens. Eddie Kingston versus Sammy Guevara.
No, not yet.
No, not yet. There's actual real heat between those two.
Yeah.
They're not going to put them on TV.
Yeah. That has the capability of going south real fast.
Exactly. And Eddie, as much as I love Eddie cannot put his issues aside.
Nope.
He's not that type of guy.
He's not that type of dude to forgive and forget. And that's a bad thing. So you need to let this cool down and simmer a little bit.
What is this? Looking outside for a splash. Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman are chilling in free agency. John Cena and AEW would make the world explode. Who's next? Goldberg. And then there's always none of that's happening. I'm sorry. John Cena is never putting a foot on AEW. That man leads WWE.
No, AEW can pay him enough.
You'd be more likely to get The Rock.
You get The Rock before you get John Cena.
Before you got John Cena. Yep. Bray, I am almost positive, has already re-signed. They're just looking for the right moment. Braun I don't see Braun going anywhere personally. Will disagrees with me. He thinks Braun's going to end up back in WWE. I think him and EC3 have enough going on with CYN that they're not going to be going anywhere.
Well, it does help. You did bring up a good point on that it does help Braun because it sort of kind of helps his attitude. Because when he was on the main roster, Braun got a case of the big head. You know what I'm saying? He got a case of the big head with all that money he was making, and then WB wasn't as touring as much, doing as many house shows. Well, you're kind of making a lot of money. We got to cut something somewhere, and you're gone. But the only reason why I say Braun comes back, Triple H.
Yeah. Well, and then so the other thing they mentioned here is you don't really have any ROH on this pay-per-view.
On that card, yeah.
First time since they've become part of the AEW thing that you haven't. So We haven't seen Samoa Joe since his defense with Jay Lethal at Double or Nothing.
Yep.
You've got Wheeler Yuta could defend the pure title. Mercedes Martinez could defend the women's title.
Yeah.
Claudio could defend the men's title.
Yeah. Look, I just want to say there's two people in this sport that William Morgan will never ever speak positive of. Mercedes Martinez, the most protected woman ever in professional wrestling, and Santana Garrett, because she represents the old diva style of wrestling. I will never ever speak positive of either one of those ladies. And that has been going on for me for years. I've been consistent with my hate of both of them. You can go back from the Wrestling Call-In show. You can go back from my days TWR on the rant. Never liked either lady. So never liked either lady.
Speaking of Santana Garrett, looks like she is back with the PC as a coach. I know Will's real happy about that.
And like I said, I just think she represents the old diva style
well,
of
it's
wrestling.
Like we were talking today, though. I think in WWE with the PC, she could.
She's gonna have to adapt her coaching
because she has structure. She's gonna have to follow.
Yeah. It just can't be all her opinion on or her thoughts in coaching. She's gonna have to a solid structure to work under, and I think that's good because I think we're gone from the old days of divas wrestling to more of a strong style type of deal.
Agreed. So that's all out. Before we get out of here, we got to talk a little bit about some other promotions. Want to talk
to my girl
NWA 74.
Shout out to my girl Camille.
NWA had their 74th anniversary pay-per-view this weekend, and as Will just said, Camille defended her title and is on her way to 450 days as the women's champion.
Yep.
It's impressive.
I think they did her right because they saw her niche as being a dominant female, and that's the route they went down. And she's bigger and stronger than most of the females over there, so she portrays that gimmick well. So that's why I think she's been champ this long. Plus, she hasn't said anything negative about the company. Good for her. She's been a good ambassador for them. Positive image. She just got married. So, she might hold on to that title for a little while.
I'm not even going to worry about the pre-show. So, pay-per-view, you had 2 out of 3 falls match. Colby Corino versus Caprice Coleman. Carino wins this match. The NWA United States Tag Team Championship Battle Royale was won by the Fixers. Matt Cardona addresses the public. There's one that I could see possibly going back to WWE now that Triple H is involved, especially the way he's built himself up.
Oh, yeah.
Magic Jake Dumas defeated Marcario. I don't know who that is. MLW National Openweight Championship, Davey Richards retained over Thrillbilly Silas. Joe Galley, the announcer for NWA, proposed to his girlfriend. Great people. I met them at a show once. They're really nice people.
Cool.
Tom Latimer opponents changed to EC3. Sion retained the NWA Heavyweight Championship, National Heavyweight Championship against Anthony Mayweather. Sion is Austin Idol's kid.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
NWA World Tag Team Women's World Tag Team Champions, Pretty Empowered, retained over the Hex. NWA World Junior Heavyweight Championship, Homicide retained over Ricky Morton. Nick Aldis defeated Flip Gordon.
Shout out to Ricky Morton for still being
Oh
in
my
the game
God,
this
man.
long.
Still killing it. Still killing it. Missouri Tornado tag match. Kratos and Pope defeated Aaron Stevens. I thought Aaron Stevens retired.
That's what I thought too. He's still in the game.
Knew that wasn't going to last. EC3 versus Tom Latimer ended in a no contest. NWA World Championship, Camille retained against Max the Impaler.
Yes, sir.
I think, honestly, we're about to get Camille versus Taya, and that might be where Taya drops, or Camille drops it.
Might be.
Trevor Murdoch retained against Tyrus in the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. I would still like to know more of the reasoning that Nick Aldis did not get that shot. Like, I would like to know. I heard he was politicking backstage, and that's why Billy took it away from him.
10 pounds of gold.
Billy Corgan announced NWA 75 will be in St. Louis next year.
St. Louis, Missouri. Man, you know how much wrestling is going down to St. Louis?
Dude, that's one of the things I was just talking to you about this year is like, or today, I need to really get out and start experiencing some of the indie wrestling because I am in like the heart of wrestling right here. I'm like 4 hours away from Chicago, 4 hours away from St. Louis, 20 minutes away from Dayton, 45 minutes away from Cincinnati, 4 hours away from Louisville. Like, there's so much professional wrestling around me, and I have not seen any of it.
Yep. You're right there. Smack dab in the middle. Yep. Smack down in the middle of it.
Well, I think that about does it for tonight. Not really anything to talk about E-wise. Triple H still doing the
we got new tag team champions, women's tag team champions over there. It looks like Sasha and Naomi are going to be coming back soon. They'll probably put the belts back on them after a little bit of a feud, hopefully. We'll see how that goes.
Do you think they put the belts back on them, or they just use them to legitimize the champions and then put them in the main title picture?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, KW. Oh,
a little personal feud. I forgot about that. Thank you, KW.
Did you see that last night, Will?
Yeah, I saw some highlights.
Oh my
God. Yeah. I saw the highlights.
The Riddle and Rollins were saying to each other, holy fuck.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Rollins need to be careful because Riddle ain't one to play with.
Yeah, that was great. That was so good.
And KW, right? He's right.
Yeah, but I don't think this one is an actual beef.
I think it's more manufactured.
I think this is all storyline. I don't think there's actual beef there. It's not like him and Goldberg. And honestly, his beef with Goldberg is legitimate.
Yeah.
Goldberg just thinks he's a badass. Honestly, you put the two in an MMA cage and Riddle whoops that ass.
I think Goldberg's a good dude for the most part. He wasn't the best wrestler, but I think it's a good dude.
He's a great person. Good
I
meat.
think he's a good person, but yeah, Riddle takes that. You put them two in the cage, Riddle's taking that. Riddle is taking that. But thank you, KW, for reminding us. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was really good. All right, guys. Well, thank y'all for joining us tonight. Thank y'all for listening to us rant. We will be back next week with the fallout from All Out, as well as everything else that happens in this crazy world of wrestling, because you never know what's going to happen.
The War Goddess Athena will be your new TBS champion.
We'll be having a celebration next week.
William Morgan called it first. I called it first.
When we come in next week and Athena's the new TBS champion, Will's going to be like, "It's raining man."
Yeah, hey, listen. I will be so happy if that happens, man. I'm gonna have.
Imagine we come in. Imagine we come in and we talking about this, and Toni Storm is the interim AEW Women's Champion, and you've got Athena as the TBS champion.
Bruh. Every dude, that's like every dude's dream right there because they get all the TV time.
Right. All right, guys. So thank y'all for joining us. Y'all have a great week, and we will see y'all next Tuesday, same time, same place as always.
Got to get ready to be ready, and when you ready, it's on.
As Zack Ryder says, you don't have to get ready if you stay ready.
Got to get ready to be ready, and when you ready, it's on.
Never answer to no, man, I still go, 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 go.